Hello, my dear ones. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to say hi. Oh man, I got so much going on. I was going to do a long video for you today, and I've been in meetings all day long. We got a lot of neat things. Oh, here's what I got to do. We got a lot of neat things coming up. Cool stuff. I'm so excited. The future of our groups, and it's just exciting. It's exciting what you guys have done with yourselves. We've got a couple of incredible cases. We're recording a couple of incredible cases that's working their way back into a human body, so to speak. So exciting stuff. Good, exciting stuff. I've got so many old questions, but I pulled the newer ones on because if I have left you out in any way, I apologize. But I need to start talking with the latest ones in the questions that you have here. So I apologize immensely that I just can't get to everyone's questions. I realize that, and I try hard. Someone asked me about apple flour before, and I told them I'd look it up, and oh, that sounds good. I didn't know they had an apple flour. 100% USA made, 8 ounces. So it's a non-grain apple flour. I love that. I think that's the cat's meow. Now, you also asked me about these noodles. I'm not too sure on that one. You asked me about the cognac noodle, and I don't know about that one. But definitely the apple flour. Boy, that is incredible stuff. I got to find some of that and try some of that stuff. You'd have to bake with it, I guess, right? Or what could you make with that? You could do some raw something with them, for sure. Apple flour. Good, sounds like good stuff. See, I do look what you guys bring to me. I try to spend the time and look it up. I don't know if I can show you this. It's a real bad face, skin thing. We've got one. We're trying to get her permission to show you. But check this one out when we get it, if she'll allow it to show, because you can see who it is, obviously, because she's big, huge tumor here. And now look at her face. I wasn't sure she could make it. And this lady is pulling herself out of this. Wow. You guys are getting good. Pretty soon, you guys are getting too good. So I'm going to keep going down the Q&A thing. This is Chris Berry from North Carolina. North Carolina, why has that been brought up? Oh, I know, we got a client we're going to go get in North Carolina and bring her down to a place so we can work on her. That's what it was. We're going to send a car to go get her. This lady's, her family dumped her in there. We'd already worked on her, and I told her if she leaves the spot we were working on her, that'd be it. And it was. Her family dumped her in a $700 a month nursing home, way back in the woods. $700 a month nursing home. That's an outhouse. So we're going to go up and get her and take care of her. Let's see, dear Dr. Morse, I was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer. You know, they never give up. Triple-negative and all these other things. 3/24/16, oh, that March 24th, age 60. I always thought I was the healthy one since I ate tons of salads and only grass-fed beef. Isn't it interesting? It's interesting that, well, I thought the same thing. Remember, I opened up health food stores to start off with. Because when I came out of being a fruitarian and being in the woods and being by myself, I was trying to figure out how I could help the planet. That was in my mind. How do I help this planet? And I was thinking, well, I open up health food stores and I can help people through that. I wasn't thinking about being a practitioner at that time. And I started eating out of the health food store and got sick as a dog. I'm thinking, for me, I just didn't feel good, bloaty, fat. I started putting on weight, a mucus back, and I'm going, woman, this is supposed to be healthy. So I've been on a long learning curve too, so I understand how this is. You got to understand that the lymph system, you know, these proteins are doing us in. As much as people will love their proteins, protein is doing the human race in. It is, and if you look at the other animals, there's only one other vertebrate that really digs into the proteins, and generally when you look at them, they go right for that gut tissue where there's pre-digested grass, and that's your carnivores. Even your omnivores are very light eaters of meat. So when you take a look at that, most animals are very light eaters of the protein type stuff, or the protein as we used to call it. Free-range chicken, but even though these are free-range and that, they're still dead tissue and stagnant blood. They're still highly acidic. They're still predominantly phosphorus, leaching out magnesium, and it doesn't matter if they're well-fed, pampered, loved, and groomed every day. It doesn't matter if it's Kobe or not. It doesn't matter. It's still the nature of the chemistry you're dealing with. You. Boy, am I learning. Yeah. That's a big learning curve, isn't it, honey? I know it, man. Oh, but such is amazing journey so far. I love your attitude, Chris. Your attitude is a good one. And that is what it takes. Started raw early May, 90% fruit as of the end of May, and have been under the care of a local naturopath with your botanicals since mid-May. Yeah, go baby. Kidneys are not yet filtering. Okay, if your kidneys are not filtering, do the 24-hour dry fast. You know, try to get on Hildy's site if you want, and check out the dry fasting if you want, but do the dry fasting. But I'm working very hard. Now, I don't know when this was written, but she's been working on it. It's still not filtering. She's got to get herself filtering, and then she'll be good. I have lost 30 pounds, 149 down to 119, and seeing good things. Good. We need to see anything start to go down. When you see your lymph nodes that are swollen start to go down, or they go up and down, they breathe, yeah, baby. We want lymph nodes to breathe. When they're hard for years, that's the fear. You know, there are some things here that do bring a little fear when you're dealing with a case and you can't seem to get the case, and you're working on the case and the case doesn't seem to be improving like you would like. What's going on deeper in there? Where's the blockages? Do we have lymph nodes that have atrophied away? You know, because you lose your lymph nodes, you're in deep doo-doo. You lose your lymph nodes. You lose your septic tank at your house. I guarantee you, within a short period of time, you'll be wanting to leave your house. Guarantee you. Seen many of that. That's neat. I hope this is a good naturopath. Kidneys are not filtering yet, but I'm working on that. I am experiencing my first major healing crisis with my liver, and I'm trying hard to be happy about that. I know. But I'm going to tell you something. These healing crises can be strong and hard, but they're always good. They're always good. In the end result, that liver will purge itself and stones and everything, and you'll be done. And then it'll go somewhere else. See, as a rule, it follows your genetic lineage for a while, because that's your weakest tissues in the body and where you have the most settling of lymph. So that's generally where you start to feel your things, and that's why you can look at the eye and tell somebody about where they're going to have a sore throat, a knee pain, a hip pain. Because if you see chronicness within these areas of the body, you can just about guarantee a symptom in a healing crisis. And it's not just a name, it's what we try to give, the unwinding of your journey through diet and genetics. Because if you notice, it's unwinding. And if you'll pay attention, you'll start having the symptoms in a healing crisis in reverse order that you're getting them, that you created them. In other words, all your life you start looking at the symptoms. You had smallpox at this age, you had this at this age, you had this and this and this. Believe it or not, even trauma. I had a car accident at this date, I had this at this year. As you unwind this journey, it'll go back. It'll pick up the car accident. It'll fix those tissues that didn't heal properly. Because if you're highly acidic, it won't heal properly. You'll feel it again. And then it'll go and keep going and keep unwinding and unwinding. I'm telling, nature is too cool. If anybody wants to know what's cool, nature. Unbelievable. I will be doing my second liver gallbladder flush this weekend. Good deal. Don't do too many, like I say, because remember what you're doing. You're spasming your liver and gallbladder. Make sure your liver enzymes, if you're going to do a lot of them, which you don't need to do, overtaxing is not smart, make sure your liver enzymes are low. Last one was 7116. Yeah, don't do too many of them. My question is that I'm just trying to understand more about the liver healing crisis because I've turned very orange, skin, eyes, urine, and everyone around me is so concerned. Okay, so here's the thing. Orange would be sulfur. Yellow could be bile. So it would just mean that you have a blockage. And you could have done one liver flush too many and popped a big stone into the duct. So if you can change from this yellowish look, you might want to, go in and have them look and see if you got a stuck stone. Or you really hit a lemon juice fast, and you can use apple juice with that. And that'll bring it up. And we do have food liquid, P-H-O-S food liquid, and it's for breaking up stones. You could try that as well, or go in and have them, open it up, if that's the case. But orange, see if it has a smell to it. But I've actually seen orange coming out of people that I thought was sulfur, and it was actually the vitamins and mineral supplements they'd been taking for years. So, a lot of this crap is synthetic crap. A lot of this crap, even the natural ones, are not so good. That's why nature holds the key, not man. Man is to rely on nature for his succor, his survival, not the laboratory with some lab rats, not meaning the rats themselves, meaning the people that are in them playing with the rats, hurting them. But if you're jaundiced in any way, you need to either flush this out or get the fast food and all this, or go to your medical doctor and have them see if you've got a stuck stone. Because the problem with flushing, it is better to go on a raw food diet for a while. Now you've been on one for a while, so you shouldn't have any problems. So I don't know. You either have a lot of sulfur or you've been on a lot of Bs or multivitamins, or you've got a stuck stone or something. And everyone around me is so concerned. I could not find anything helpful on your YouTube videos to understand it myself or to explain to others that are concerned about me. That was someone else. Okay, I do not have, return. All right, Jen B's got your email. I'll tell her. Okay, I'll make sure I talk to her and tell her what to tell you, honey. Thanks, Chris. But remember, I need to get to you probably before this is going to get up. Okay, so that's why. Hi, Shannon. I had a guy who claimed to be one of the founding members of the HPA, International Iridology Practitioners Association. Well, I bet he wasn't a part of the original one. The original one. Bill Caradonna showed up at one of my talks recently. Funny. At the end of it, he approached me and I said I have it all wrong. At the end of it, he approached me and said I have it all wrong with my take on iridology. That the yellow in the eyes is not sulfur, but some sort of pigmentation in the eye. And he said that they have information on this going back to the early 1920s. Who gives a crap? We know more in 1920 and now in 2016 than in 1920. Thank you. You're going to go back to 1920s? That was close to when the world was flat, wasn't it? Who cares about this guy? All I can tell you, it's sulfur. And sulfur comes out. And that pigmentation will come out. You just don't have orange pigmentation out of nowhere. And everybody should have it then. So how do you get this orange pigmentation in your body? Chemistry, all right? So that this Bill guy tell you what chemistry it is. No, you got to explain it, Bill. You don't just say, no, it's not. We have stuff going way back. Do you really? Well, you know what? I buy on my own personal experiences, and I've had 45 years of clinicals working with this, and I can tell you what it is. Tell you what it is, totally what it is. We see it all the time. So who cares what he thinks? I could care less. You got people in these associations that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground, guys. You got to realize that as a rule, most iridologists are not real good. I hate to say that, but this is what Jensen is always griping about. And this is part of the problems. That's why I'm training you guys to the max in iridology, so you'll know what's up. These guys are way behind us, guys. You have to understand the world is behind us, not in front of us. You know, they're still lollygagging behind us, trying to catch up with us. We're motivating on down the road, baby. So you stand strong, my dear man, or whoever this is, and know that what you're saying is true. And he did tons of experiments. Oh, did he really? Wow. What kind of experiments did he do? Did he detox them to when it starts to come out, you take the stool sample with the orange in it and take that stool sample and have it tested? Because that's what you got to do. When you start seeing this coming out, you got to take it and test it. And when you do, you know what you find? Sulfur. That he learned from Dr. Jensen is really outdated and not accurate. Well, there is a lot from Dr. Jensen that is outdated. But then German iridology never did get it right. So they're never in the right way. So, you know, this guy can knock all he wants. Some of the stuff he said seemed plausible. Yeah, but nah. He was definitely a German iridologist, man. He was definitely of the belief that the eyes don't really change color. Of course he is. And you can't talk to someone like this because these are constipated iridologists. They don't have a clue. They're just iridologists. And these people don't have a clue. When you don't have your eyes changed, and another thing is he doesn't understand the lymphatic look in the eye. So you just, there's a lot more we're up on than these old guys like this that think they know everything. Sorry. And as far as I'm concerned, these people that think that way, you can still think that way all you want. We'll still be friends and still love you guys. You can keep your thinking to yourself because that's not the way we think. And we've worked with our eyes for years and years and years. Matter of fact, just to give you a little up, Dr. Jensen considered us one of the top iridologists in the world, just to give you an up on that. But he never wants to tear down the old man because Dr. Jensen was an incredible being. And what he brought out, and he also brought out all the fallacies of German iridology, which is ridiculous. And when you don't believe in eye changes, then you don't understand the nature of the eye and the whole iridology. It actually, for him to say that and not deal with it, and for all of these German iridologists not to believe in the changing of the eye, is to believe in staticness in nature. That nature is, there's some part of nature that's static, that you're born with the colorations that you're born with. They don't understand physics or anything else like that. So they don't incorporate that in their thinking. But you're living real time. Every second is a change. Every second is a change. So there is constant changes. And so there's never been an iridologist, a German iridologist could explain what we know and be able to understand this because they had never been able to detoxify people deeper. I've had rounds and rounds of discussion with these people claiming they know how to detox, they know how to do these things. Oh, really? Then how come you're not getting eyes to change? You guys are getting your eyes to change. You guys, a lot of you guys have wrote and said, my eyes are changing and everything else. So you know the truth, my friend. The Bill guy, don't be intimidated by the older people. This guy has never grown. Stuck. Back in the 1920s and 30s. Those were the old days. We every year we know more and more and more, and we grow. That's the whole point of nature. And understanding and growth even of the mind is for growth and expansion. Not living back in the same retarded thinking that you were in. Yeah, I hear this all the time. And lots of tricks one can do with the camera, or it depends on how the pictures are taken. Yes. You know, I people like this I don't even waste my time with because they don't know. And until they open up and take another view and get deeper into this, I showed him Marcy's before and after iris photos, which have a big discrepancy, and he couldn't take that in. My sense is that his irises don't change color, but I was left to, but you know why though? See, you have to understand why you guys are changing your colors of eyes. You understand you're on the top shelf. You're on the top of the mountain in terms of tissue regeneration. This is how it's done, period. Period. It's how it's done. It's done this way in physics and science. We can prove all this. It's how it's done. Why? We're doing it all around the world. We're proving it. So when you have people like this in here, they want to take you off point because they're set in their ways. They haven't grown a lot. You guys are on the fastest moving understanding of how you get into your body, you deep tissue regeneration, and how you get into these interstitial spaces and move lymph. These guys are so far back. Don't be intimidated ever by that. You stand strong with what you know because these guys can't prove their point. We can. So I appreciate this. Now, I was left a little confused about the argument he had about the pigmentation of being sulfur. Don't be confused. Don't be confused. He hasn't got a framer's clue. Take a look. I don't know much about this guy other than he's working from a position of unawareness. But I can tell you, we've done so many eyes. And take a look at, I can show you 1,000 eyes where the ones who have the orange in them, you can go back and you correlate them clinically. I've done this for years. To go over with a client, talk about the antibiotics, talk about the sulfur drug uses and stuff like that. It's always right there. It's always right there. And by the way, genetics too. Now you can say that I genetically got the coloration from my mother, who had all the sulfur. I don't have the sulfur. I have the genetic coloring. You could maybe say that. But I tell you, your lymph system is pretty much your mom's lymph system, and we see the sulfur in the kids too. So don't be intimidated about Bill or people like this who don't know but actually you probably could educate him, even though you had probably less time in understanding the eye. He needs to understand the lymph system and why eyes change and what colors are really about in the eye. See, your guys are way out there in iridology compared to what's going on here. There's not that much understanding in iridology. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you. I have had a good summer here. Oh, good. And I am healing slowly on the herbs and fruits. Who is this? Judith. Hey, Judith. I'd like to see you heal a little faster. But as long as you're healing, that's all I care about, is that you guys are healing, you're getting your tumors out, you're regenerating tissue in your body, you're getting happy, you're getting your power back. Each and every one of you are beautiful beings. Accept that. Accept that. And don't be intimidated by anybody. You guys are the cat's meow. You're learning how to get into the body more than anybody, everybody. It's like what's going on in politics and everywhere else. You notice how the world is fighting growth. That's the mind. The mind fights growth and understanding. Even though it feeds off of it, it still fights it. Change isn't something the mind likes. It likes its grooves, it likes its patterns, it likes its habits. It loves that. And when you get out of that, the mind doesn't like that. Well, who's the control of your life? Your mind or you? I say you are in control, and you tell Mr. Mind to settle back. May I ask you to please show the pics below to Marcy and Dr. Morse? Wow. I would like to know if you three have seen anything like this. Before my brother vomits this up, he gets very nauseous and must throw up. Sometimes he must right after eating, sometimes in the night. Is it possible this could be a casein curds, like curded milk or stuff? They are a perfect shape, always this color, sticky on the outside, about 1/2 inch in size, inside a powdery white substance, dry mostly. Stink? Stink at all? I don't know. They could be plugging some hole in there somewhere in the bronchial trunk or lung or stomach wall or something. You know, a little pocketed area that's shaped this way, and it gets filled to a point, kind of like a tonsil stone. I don't know. Could be out of a lymph node somewhere, extracted up in there, like a tonsil stone. Oh, I don't know. This is unusual. And it's about 1/2 inch in size. Oh, that's not very big. It's about that big, 1/2 inch. I don't know. Judith, I surely don't know. But isn't it unusual the crap we get out of our bodies when we don't eat right, when we burn dirty fuel? And that's just what's happening. All this stuff, if it's not fruits, berries, or melons, or vegetables, pretty much a dirty fuel. and leaves residues of all kinds. Interesting stuff. That would have to be, if it's a shape every time, definitely have to be in a space that's shaped that way. Whether it's like a plug that builds up and then, or out of a, I don't know. Strange indeedy. Oh, this is from Matthew. All right, this is from Matthew, and he's saying that he hurt his neck playing football. I felt a shock down my, I felt a shock down my spine and a headache right away. I started getting headaches a lot, and I felt like my eyes and forehead were on fire. 1 year later, I got so bad that I couldn't think straight. Did you go to a chiropractor and get it straightened back up? I mean, that'd be the first thing you'd want to do is go to a chiropractor, especially, and get this neck put back. At least that'd be the first thing I'd want to do. That I couldn't think straight, so I went to a chiro, and got hurt even more. Oh, chiropractor hurt him more. Well, can't say that there's, it's like naturopaths. There's some bad ones, and there's some good ones. And it's just like chiropractors. There's some bad ones, and there's some good ones. I would think a good chiropractor would definitely want to take x-rays and everything, make sure you're in good shape, and you probably did after that, right? And so let me see here. I had pain in my arms and legs and numbness in my hands and feet, which got better, but I've had a constant tension headache for 6 months now. I'm doing physio, massage, acupuncture, and more, but still in pain. I need help. Okay. So when you see yourself in pain, you got a couple things to think about. You could be twerking, of course, and down on a nerve, no question about that. But by now, with a good or an osteopath, you should be able to look at that and see if you're compressing or something on that. If you're not, it's your lymph system. Because when you have that trauma, you notice how things are tight at first, okay? Because you traumatize that area, the tissues, the cells, But remember we talked about how it's your lymph system that has to clean up the mess. Whenever you have trauma, you hit yourself or you get hit, you kill cells or hurt cells, your lymph system has to come in now and clean that mess up. Petechiae is a good example, bruising, right? You hit yourself real hard, you bruise. Well, when you bruise, then it's not the blood that sucks that back in. You notice that? It's the lymph that cleans it because it smashed it into interstitial spaces. And a lot of bruises will hang around for a long time because your lymph is moving very sluggishly. And that's a good way to look at that. So I don't know, I'd say first of all, I would do antispasmodic, brain and nerve, and upper circulation. Those are the three things I love for all reasons. Then, at the same time, I'm on your kidneys, I'm on your lymph system. I'm going to drain you, and I'm going to get GI broom. I'm going to open up your bowels. I need to get this out of you. I need to get this pain and this stuff out of you. Now, that's if you're not sitting down on bone or something, okay? That's not if you're tweaked or your axis is off and things like that. And he needs to check down a little further too, because you could have right here, just in the shoulder blades, you could have that as a hot spot. And even though trauma was here, tweaked down here. I'm not a chiropractor. Was in taught classes with a good friend of mine, a chiropractor, for about 2 years though. It's enough to say you want to go after this, and you want to be alkaline. You want to be fruits, berries, and melons. You want to turn on that nervous system. Matter of fact, another thing you might think about is on the side here, parathyroid and bones. Maybe do the parathyroid 2-3 times a day and the bones 3 times a day, just for 1 bottle each, just to see where that takes you. Because you got a lot of healing power, and of course comfrey is knit bone. So you might want to see that. Getting a headache like that sounds like you're spasming, and that's what it could be. You could be holding this inflammation here or acidosis here, and you're just spasming. So again, that would still be the lymph system that has to take it out of there, not the blood. There's only the 2 systems, remember? But that's where I would take off after, because that's your only chance is to do that, and to make sure either osteopathically or chiropractically that you don't have compression, you're not sitting down on anything, that sort of thing. But with the headaches, it sounds like you're spasming. And that would mean that the trauma has never healed itself. The inflammation, you can use the word inflammation, it's not an accurate word, but we'll use that, is still there. And that means that acid isn't moving out well, and that's going to take you right into your lymphatic system and right into where's your kidneys, where's your adrenals, where's your lymph system at, man. So that's what you want to take a look at there. And fix that up, because that should be easy to fix. It should be easy to fix, so dig in on the raw. Dig in on the raw, check everything out. Just out of the thing of it, do your upper circuit, brain and nerve, that sort of thing. Just get this thing, get some good healing power with the brain and nerve formulas, and upper circulation. Start really moving good blood up in there. This is from Elizabeth. This is going to be a short video, about an hour, I think. So we've got about 45 minutes. So. Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth. Subject. Hello, Dr. Morse. Hello, Elizabeth. I have 2 sons, 1 and 2 years old. A year apart, huh? 1 and 2 years old. Last year, it took you the second time to know what caused them, right? Last year, my 2-year-old was diagnosed with eczema. It started as a small spot on his face. I'm not sure if stress aggravates it, but stress aggravates it all. And the reason is that the adrenals are involved. And as soon as you shut your adrenals down, guess what you get to see? Lymphatic problems. And it's proof right there. Proof right there, the connecting link emotionally. You know. When my husband left to start driving over the road, his eczema became worse. Missed his daddy. Spreading all over. He was cold hands and feet. Interesting. He has cold hands and feet, has never slept through the night. My 1-year-old has dry skin, also not sleeping through the night. Both are waking up every 2 to 3 hours. What is it that I can do to help them? All right, moms. You got a 1 and 2 year old children here with some serious issues. And I know I seem to make everything serious, don't I? But I tell you, think about this, guys. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Here's children that can't sleep. So where we're going? We're going up to the pineal gland, aren't we? Well, wait a minute. We have cold hands and cold feet. We know that's thyroid, right? But we also now have a little we have a little look above the thyroid, don't we? Right here's the thyroid, right? But we have a look a little higher, don't we? What's that look? The pineal gland. They're not sleeping. All right, so all of you that know the iris work know that this is going to lead into some serious bowel problems. You know, colon problem. Transverse colon. Okay, so I can tell you for a fact these children have colon problems. Particularly the transverse. I can tell you that they have pineals down. So mom, listen, this is what you got to listen and make sure you watch this. The possibility is very, very high that these children have pituitary weaknesses. That's going to flip back also on the parathyroid gland. And maybe even on the thymus. So what this could possibly mean is the accelerated growth of one, and maybe the stunted growth of one, or the stunted growth of both, who knows. When you have cold hands and feet, you have a hypo condition existing in the thyroid gland. So if I'm going to translate that hypo, that means that pituitary can't get enough TSH to the thyroid to kick it up, meaning that the pituitary would be hypo. Even if if the pituitary was producing adequate TSH and the thyroid wasn't responding, okay. But that's not what's going on here, I don't think. And it wouldn't matter because you've got this connecting link of the pineal gland. So that right off has got me worried about your children, that something you want to do here. Same thing. I'm just saying this would be an excellent idea for a lot of reasons. Upper circ, brain and nerve. Upper circ, brain and nerve, mom. Both kids. And do it now. Now here's another one. These are young babies. So anything you do has to be like a Fab 4 type of thing. But you're going to have to add a little more of that upper circuit, brain and nerve. So I'll add that on there. But I would do the kidneys. Kidney number 1. Endocrine gland. I think I would definitely give lymphatic 1. But I would do just a couple of drops. Now, you're only talking about a couple of drops anyway for these babies. 1 year, 2 year old, only a few drops. By their weight, you'll see the weight on the bottom. But you only need a few little things for this child. Diet. Now, you know immediately, if you've been listening to these videos, Mom, that you've got some serious lymphatic problems on your hands here. You're starting to see the skin, the eczema. So you know immediately the thyroid's down. Your other connecting link to that is cold hands, cold feet. What you don't know yet, or we don't know yet, is if there's a pituitary coming down on it. We know pineal's in trouble. They can't sleep. They're not sleeping. So you need to get that pineal and scrape a little off of that. I don't know how much. So you got to get the pineal. It might even be in a capsule. So if it's in a capsule, you can take a little out and give it to them in a juice. But I would say you just want a little shavings, if it's a tablet, and just, less than an eighth of a capsule. And feed that to them for a little while and turn this on. And you try to get the eye pics of at least the 2-year-old if you can. And let's take a look, because honey, you got to look at you and the donor's eyes. It makes see where your guys are going, because I can tell you right off, you're starting to peak the lymphatic systems. Okay, so immediately their kidneys and adrenals are down, both of them, right? And number two, he's got some things going on, and number one's following them. Matter of fact, you could have more problems with number one coming, maybe. You never know. It depends what genes pulled them or didn't pull them. But the younger, the more problems. Believe it or not. Because if she hasn't learned how to take care of herself, mom is continuing to do bad, diet-wise, and babies are getting the blowback from that. So you got some seriousness here. I would take a very serious look at this, honey, because I don't like the fact that you got a 1 or 2 year old with eczema. You're just saying right now, you're seeing what all these young guys and gals have been up against, and it's just disgusting. I saw another thing on skin, another pharmaceutical. I don't know what it was. I didn't pay much attention. I was just kind of half listening, but it's another pharmaceutical for skin problems. I said, just tell that to all the young ones who've taken all the steroids, all the Accutanes, and tell them you've got another formula on the market you might want to try. Not good. So you could tell also, though, that the little one's got a little adrenal going on, but no baby likes to see their daddy gone. But still, again, it shows you what you have to do, Elizabeth, to your children. And you really want to take off after their kidneys, adrenals, and lymph system, bar nothing. That's essential. And real essential to look at the endocrine glands, because, honey, their growth, their awareness, their comprehension, everything depends on this. And you don't want to have 2 babies stunted or anything like that. So that's why I like the endocrine gland formula. It's a gentle formula of berries, goes right to the glands. Might be the cat's meow for your children. But as they get older, get them on the diet. The diet is vital for the young babies like this. They're not really babies, but 1-year-old, 2-year-old, they need the raw. They should neither one of them be on any milky products, any formulas. They're too old. Even the 1-year-old should be on fruits, berries, and melons. The 2-year-old for sure on fruits, berries, and melons. And that's where you got to ride this ride. And I can tell you there's going to be some healing crises and some fevers here. So you're going to rebuild your babies so you can have some healthy children. If not, you could have some very serious problems here, because it's almost obvious that there's a pituitary down here. And if that's the case, and here's the thyroid, well, what about the parathyroids? So you have skeletal problems, connective tissue problems, growing pains out of these children, all kinds of stuff. And you can fix them up real easy right now. And that's what I would do. Fix them up real easy right now. Oh, here's 2 questions. Okay. First off, let me see, who is this? Mike. Hey, Mike. First off, I really want to thank you for all your amazing work you do. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, buddy. I have learned a lot and am ready to begin my detox program. Yeah. Take it on, baby. Strap yourself on that bull and ride it. You guys want to ride bulls? Ride this bull. This is a good bull, though. Raised a few bulls in my life, believe it or not. Farm boy, remember? 4-H and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, I went through all that. Let's see, I have learned a lot and I'm ready to begin my detox. I have purchased the necessary tinctures as recommended by you. My question is, how will the detoxification affect my shoulder? I had shoulder surgery a few years ago and had sutures still, which won't dissolve. What are you talking about? As well as biodegradable anchors, which have dissolved since the surgery. Is this a concern? No, not at all. Matter of fact, your body will want to probably, these sutures, it'll probably heal that, super heal that area. Now you might see a little inflammation where the sutures are as the body's trying to chew them and expel them. And you might see them start to get pussy to try to expel them. But outside of that, that's about all I know you're going to see. Again, parathyroid and bones. Just to accelerate some healing there. You know what's cool? Is that when you know we got cool tools that don't have a blowback on you like pharmaceuticals, tools that you can use every day in your life if you need them, tools that make your body feel so good, rebuild it, strengthen it. We got bone forming. We got herbs for bones. We got herbs for all kinds of things. Cool stuff. You want the cool stuff? The botanical world is a cool world. A world of consciousness, a world of all kinds of stuff. I am just scared on how the detox process, it doesn't, you have to realize, guys, that this detox process is a regenerative detox process. A regenerative detox process. It only kicks out what it doesn't want in the body, and it repairs the weak. So you're not going to throw your shoulder out, but it's going to repair it and rebuild it. Even from any surgery that you had, it's going to strengthen it, because a surgery doesn't repair it, doesn't rebuild it. Rebuild it from the sense of making it new again. It repairs it. Just like a carpenter, repairing anything. A surgeon just goes in and, like me, with saw and hammer and nails, sews it up, screws it in, fix plates, stabilize it, and all that sort of thing. So then, who heals it? The body heals it, not the surgeon. The surgeon is a mechanic. The body is the healer. So you guys are in on and understand that chemistry only has two sides to it. The one side of chemistry is not the healing side, that's the acid side. That's the indole corrosive side. Although there are great minor acids out there that are used daily by the body, estrogen, testosterone, aldosterone, I mentioned 3. But then you've got all kinds of that. But on the other side of the fence, in the base chemistry, is the dominant side, the electrolyte side. That's that. If you had to mentally choose a good or bad side, then you would say the alkaline side is the female good side. So you understand that in detoxification, it's getting out these bad guys, these acids, that are going to chew you up, and it's going to repair. Well, if you had surgery, it doesn't make the surgery go bad. It repairs it even better than the surgeon could repair it. We've went over case after case where you've seen the regeneration of the human body. I even have Roger up there as a quad to show you the regeneration of skeletal tissue. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So when you see stuff like that, what the body can mend and realign and pull itself straight, even after I take a fractured bone that's healed like this for 12 years and pull it back straight, equal with the other side, leg. It's the tip of the iceberg. And with more and more of you guys understanding, and some of you brainos out there, and things that we can add, things that proper things, you never know how incredible this level can get out there for this planet. It's incredible. But you have the negative forces, so be strong, because you're butting up against the negative forces. And you're the God forces, so you be strong, even though the negative forces is God forces. Yes. But in that sense, You're the God people. You're here to bring the light and the love. There's no name. You're the children of the light. You're the God people coming to give succor and love and teach them how to get their bodies well so people can enjoy themselves more. This has become a hellhole badly. So I wouldn't be concerned at all. Matter of fact, this is the way you would want to go about doing this. You'd want to go back in, detox, get on raw, and let the body heal it for all. Because if this is an injury that you seem to have frequent injuries in skeletal systems and stuff, you might want to really take a look at that parathyroid. I'd hit that anyway. So again, even in trauma, and I've said this before, it doesn't matter. Even in trauma, surgeries, no matter what, you want to go down this road. Because I've spent plenty of surgeries that never healed. They're back in second time, third time. I've had plenty of cases where they had 4 surgeries on the knees. I've had plenty of those cases. And you guys can change the outcome of surgery because the surgery is only as good as the repairman. And then only as good as the body isn't chronic. Because the problem is going in these chronic lymphatic areas in the body, highly acidic, and repairing, manually repairing, and then hoping the body's going to fix it. Not going to happen. Not going to happen, guys. As a matter of fact, it's going to chew it up even more. So when you have surgery, you want to get on this after, before and after. You want to definitely get on it before, build up your nervous system, build up the adrenals for the propofol effect, and then afterwards really hit it. Move your lymph, get all the trauma that the surgeon created and the trauma from the accident, get it all out, and let the body repair and rebuild. You have to understand and have faith and understand that's what the body does. You cut yourself, don't it heal? Everything goes back, capillaries go back, lymph vessels go back to where they go. You have to understand there's a consciousness that evades all things. Remember, God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, the creator, whatever name you want to give it, who cares? You're part of a being that is everywhere. And that is talked about in every religion. I don't know about Islam at all. I'm not even going to go there. But everyone else talks about it. The beauty and the allness and the oneness of things. So, I don't think you have to worry a thing about that. Not at all. I think you're going to, as a matter of fact, I think the other thing, Mike, is going to kick out these sutures because it's going to want to heal that area. And generally when you have a foreign object in there, if it's not like titanium or real harmonious with the body and alkaline metal, it's going to try to get rid of it. So, no, I wouldn't worry about that at all, Mike. Oh, here's another question. Mike, I think, same question. Chris, same question, man. But yeah. Matter of fact, if you have trauma and all that, I mean, look at the young man that fell out of I call him falling out of the sky. Poor lad, his parachute didn't open, right? So he was at our last class, and he's such a love. He's such a great guy. I can't even tell you. Lady, he's such a great guy. But, he was pretty crushed. Went right into the detox program, paralyzed and everything. Now he's walking, has a new world. Body's back, still working on things, of course, but he come walking in and give me a big hug, and that's what it's about. So if you can have that level of trauma, falling out of the sky, parachute not opening, hitting the water that hard, I think your shoulder will be quite fine, man. All right, Paul. This is from Paul. Hello, Paul. Hi, Doc. Thank you for all that you do. Much appreciated. Thank you, Paul. Love you, man. What are the best ways to purify your environment? Oh, you really want me to tell you? No. In terms of air plants, pink salt, yeah, I do that. I'd have salt lamps around, philodendrons around. Philodendrons are probably the best houseplants because they suck in a lot of toxins. So, and there's a lot of good houseplants. I'm not just up on all of them, but the philodendron is the one I use a lot. Most houseplants will pull, of course, they all pull in your carbon dioxide, but other factors as well, other chemicals as well. So I have a lot of nice house plants, but I have a lot of plants on the outside. Too much. I'd never do it again ever. I changed, like this morning before I came to work here. I was here at 10, but I've already had 3 sets of clothes. I was planting and replanting some plants at 6 this morning. I'm putting in a whole water system and electrical grid and everything to water everything properly and everything. So it's been a lot of work. Messages, Paul, sorry about that. But yeah, definitely, salt lamps, stuff like that. Make sure that all your soaps, you shouldn't need any underarm deodorants, guys. Because if you have underarm deodorant, no. You got to dig in and get that lymph cleaned out because you got stinky proteins, putrefacted proteins in those lymph nodes. Not good. So you don't have to worry about underarm deodorants because on a raw diet you should smell sweet. Even if you have cooked vegetables, you're still going to smell good. So that's not for sure, but you always have your toothpaste. We have powder. I use the bicarbonate. I've got our tooth powder is due here anytime again. And so I've got 100% all herbal tooth powder. You go to the health food store and you get these tooth powders and it's got crap in them. It's almost like pharmaceuticals are making natural products for health food stores now, but not quite all natural. So this is 100% all herbal tooth powder, so it'll be really good, except for bicarbonate, sodium and bicarbonate. I do have that in there. But that's some of the things. The clothing, of course, I don't know. I use all cotton as much as I can, all the things like that, but I'm not 100% perfect. I've got a filtering system on my house, of course. I did have a whole house RO system, but you burn 7 gallons to get 1. So if you're eco-minded, you're burning 7 gallons of water to get 1 good gallon. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't feel right. And I was upset with myself, but you got to drink good water. So then I put in a whole system of bicarbonate, and I've got a softener, and I've got a charcoal filter, and I've got a setup like that, and a big 500-gallon holding tank, because we have sulfur in our water here. So if you guys who like the sulfur, you come drink all the Florida sulfur water you want. I'm an old mountain boy and I don't like sulfur. Not too many people do. But some of these things like that. And the salt lamps, yep, we got a lot of them. You know, Attila's mom owns Salt Cave. She's had a salt cave for years and years and years down in Cape Coral, Florida. And Attila's been raised in natural health. Like I say, her mom's been into it most of her life. She's has degrees and stuff, but she has a salt cave. Pretty cool. Yeah, stuff like that. Get to your LEDs or something like that in your house. Get away from anything like that. That's what I'm doing. Tile floors with nice carpets, stuff like that. But I'm sure there's a lot of ways. We have a place up here in Venice, Florida called Detox Your House, and they have it's a company that does. And I don't know who owns it. I never did stop in and talk to them, but they go in and look at look at all the chemistry of the house and what's going on. If there's any radon or anything like that, they check for all of that stuff, and they look at the chemicals and stuff like that, the electrical impulses and stuff like that. And if you could find someone, that would make a nice job. That'd make a nice new career for people. Is cleaning up people's houses for them. Identifying their electrical currents and stuff and helping them how to get their house around. That'd make a good job for someone. At the same time, you can say, if you guys eat fruits, berries, and melons, you get healthy. Radiation. Black tourmaline. Yep, black tourmaline. You know why? It's been so many years. I'll be honest with you guys that I've taught gemstones. I taught gemstones years and years ago, and my God, I forgot all that I knew almost. You don't use it, you lose it. But I've got black tourmaline around here, and of course I've got all my crystals. And Micah, which is a shaman guy, and he's down now he's down at the John of God now, but he comes and sets crystals around, and then I have, we've done some crystal work and stuff and other gems, So he'd be more of a guy to get in and ask him about stuff like that in terms of gemstones and stuff, because he travels the world and buries them, and he's kind of hooked with the gemstone guardians. Wi-Fi, I don't know. Black tourmaline will help with Wi-Fi. I don't know. See, I don't have those sort of things. And other signals that I've heard are bad for us. Yeah, I even got one of those friggin' smart meters. They put them on whether you liked it or not. They said they'll take them off, but electrical meters, I don't know. You know what? You've got to have to protect yourselves in so many ways physically, because this world is still going down yet. It's still got a ways to go yet, guys. We haven't reached the bottom of the negative yet. There's going to be some scary things coming a little bit. So just know that keep making yourself healthy, making yourself stronger, and you'll be able to fend off the radiation. Remember, those that are acidic hold radiation. Those are base, detox it. So all of these things are important to understand to your body physically. And the same thing with your body with Wi-Fi, radiation, all these sort of things. You don't hold currents if you're base and alkaline. You hold when you're acidic. So you want to look at that side of that too. What condition is your body in the steep of all this environmental influences? It's hard to avoid these in the world that we live in. I know it is. And it's not going to get better for a while. At least that's what I'm showing. But then, what do I know? But I want to protect myself from them, as you should, Paul. My last question is about astral travel, OBE. Well, there's astral travel, mental travel, and soul travel. How do you do it? Can you consciously do it, or does it happen without you knowing? Is it like a dream? No. Remember I was telling you the other day, it's more real than a dream, Paul. It's more real. The closer to the God, I'll just use this analogy, okay, so don't be mad at me. I'll use the word Godhead. That's an example of pure consciousness, the Godhead. As you're pulling back your attention from your bodies, you're pulling back, you'll see yourself pulling back from several bodies. Subtle bodies. With each body pulled back, you expand more, know more, see more, understand more. It just comes out of your very essence, your very beingness. And the more you're pulling back, the bigger and the more infinite you're getting. Because this world is the most finite world. It is known as the chemical universes. The astral world is not the chemical universes. This is the energetic universes. Things happen much quicker, and your mental response is much quicker. That's why an immature mind is not allowed to deal too much freedom in these worlds, because of the conflict that you can cause. That's why I say you don't want to look to controlling others through mind control and things. You don't want that side of it. You don't want to be a psychic. You want to be a knower. You don't want to open yourself up to some other being. You want to be the knower straight from the Godhead out, because that's where you come from. It's an illusion for a psychic. They don't realize this, but it's an illusion for a psychic to connect to someone else. They can connect with another being. That's easy. Some of them are already well connected with. I have news for them. You can see them hitchhiking on them. I call them hitchhikers. There's a lot going on at this level. That's why I'm trying to get you all strong and tough. Man, I'm getting a lot up. So, remember, you're pulling back from a, just as an allegory, you're pulling back from looking way out there. You're pulling back, and pulling back to your original self again. Each pullback is a body. Some people go back out into the chemical world. The Hindus and those, of course, call that reincarnation. And the bottom line, when you understand what Jesus and Buddha and all these guys were saying, you reap what you sow. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Physics, karma for Buddha. It's all saying the same thing. So when you see things happening to you, when you pull back, you begin to realize, I created that myself. I created the very action I'm experiencing myself. So the positive part about this is that out-of-body travel, it feels like you're out of the physical body. You are. But it's only your attention that's in the body anyway. Because remember, you're pure consciousness. There's no form to you. There's no, I can't touch your, can you touch awareness? No, you can't. It's formless. And that's what they got into quantum physics. They finally said in quantum physics, energy, all matter is nothing but frequencies of electromagnetic energy. But energy itself has intelligence. Now, that's a pretty good leap for physical sciences to attach intelligence to, in other words, mundane world where the only one intelligent in this world is those that go to school and are narcissistic elitists. But it's enough to say that out-of-body experiences are incredible. You're out of the physical body. It's not yours anyway. You're just using, it's just like picking out a car. Except who picks it out for you is the one that knows exactly what's going on with your journeys and what you need for your next journey to tie it all together. Oh no, you are well looked over. And you're put into a vehicle for your journey, for your lesson. So the people, whether you get traumatized by the dad or mother, this is all in your karma, believe it or not. And some of it is tough stuff. You know, a lot of us come as warriors from other places, and like the one guy said, I'm a killer. I'm a killer from another planet. And it's like, okay. So, I mean, you've got the positive and negative worlds here. So strengthen thyself and always create what you want. Create positive and love, that's what you get back. Let the negative forces fall in on themselves by creating and blowing back the very things they get. Right? So Paul, out-of-body travel is easy. Just put yourself, remember, it's your attention. You're moving because you are your attention. I can be here, I can be here, I can be out of this body and be in that body. I can be anywhere. You're a free agent. You can put your attention anywhere you go. When you finally get back toward the Godhead, you realize you don't have to travel because you're everywhere anyway. Oh no, it's unbelievable. Oh yeah. Try to maintain it. Woo. But good question, Paul. Good question. Keep trying to make your life pure and clean. Remember this. Too pure and clean could be a problem. Because you get real clean and pure, you really see how dirty this world is. And it's not fun. Because it's blowing back on you. And remember I told you I wanted to walk? I was going to walk. No more vehicles for me. Right. Nope. And make sure I've got a good pollution control devices in terms of not allowing it into the car. Ford had the worst in the trucks. My 250 out here, I can be right behind a car and smell their exhaust in there, and I have all my things on. Ford had a horrible protection for exhaust. Horrible filtering system, so I hope they've changed it. Because it was almost like you had none. All right. Man, time is flying fast. Oh, Rosie. Hi, Rosie. I have a question for Dr. Morse. I have been doing the diet of only raw fruits and vegetables for about 9 months. Okay? Now, suggestion right off, lose the vegetables. Sometimes I eat some nuts, corn tortillas, or cooked vegetables. When I was a little girl, around 5 years old, I got hepatitis. I do not know what type, since my mother does not remember. I got it 2 times. The doc told my mom that my liver could have been damaged. Well, probably Hep B. Hep A or B, probably, more than likely. Most common. Especially as a youngster, probably Hep A, Hep B. But all that's showing you is that you had some minor inflammation in the liver. However, as you guys are learning, where does this inflammation come from? All right? So now we know that the liver is nothing but a bunch of cells all held together in the shape of the liver with a gallbladder up in there, right? Now, we also know that the problem, the cell is just a cell, that's just a, but what's the chemistry coming into the cell, and where's the chemistry going that's supposed to come out of that cell? So the interstitial spaces of your liver become just as blocked as everywhere else. So when you start to see liver problems, you know immediately that the trunk, the main trunk of the tree, the GI tract, it's involved too. You can't just have the liver involved and nothing involved with the gut. Very rare. Very rare. It'd have to be some genetic mutant where the bowels are a mess anyway. And as far as we're going that way, we could just walk across the street to the pancreas. Hey, over there on the right, on the left side this way. You doing okay? Ah, you got it too, huh? Ah, that's that lymph system. It's all over the place. But, okay, when I started the raw fruit and vegetable diet, I got jaundice. Okay? My hands were very yellow. During the 9 months I have been doing this diet, this condition comes and goes. Look at that. Boy, you really got to detox your liver. You know, this would be a case where I'd recommend a liver gallbladder flush. But that said, you've had Hep A and B probably, or whatever. You might want to go have a blood workup and check your liver enzymes and alkaline phosphatase. That's for a liver panel. You know, and it has alkaline phosphatase, and then it has your ALT and AST, or AGOT and AGST. It doesn't matter, the same thing, liver enzymes. Take a look at them. You want your liver AST and ALT, you want those about 15, no more than 20 really. And it'd be nice if your alkaline phosphatase is around 30 to 50. But if it's elevated, you know your lymph system's a mess. And that's where you want to think first anyway, because if it's not just a cell sitting there, the real chemistry is coming into the blood and then leaving out the lymph. So you've got to take a look at that and see where you fit in there. Whether it's a genetic weakness in that liver, whether your lymph system's backed up in that liver, it's going to be backed up if it's a genetic weak liver anyway. So it's easy to go on the liver gallbladder formula, get on our detox kits and go right down that road. That's what that road is for. It's to make well that which is not. The fact that you're getting jaundice off and on like that's interesting to me. You could be, it probably wouldn't hurt for you to do a liver gallbladder flush. If your liver enzymes are in pretty good shape, I'd do a liver gallbladder flush because it sounds like you got some stones too. But try this food liquid, phosphorus, like phosphorus, food liquid. Comes out of standard process and it dissolves stones. We have, generally I don't recommend supplements, but I've seen some stones come out with that. So, they made it for that. So it's like, well, okay. I'm Royal Lee, biochemist at that time. During the 9 months I have been doing this diet, this condition comes and goes. However, I have been experiencing bad digestion as well as the last 3 months. I feel bloated after eating. Like I said, across the street there, you might want to look at that one too, the pancreas. You want to get into a detox, get your bowels cleaned up, and really take off into this. Do your liver gallbladder form. That comes right out the chute in the first detox kit anyway. So we go after that, and then we walk across the street and we go after the liver. At the same time, we're after the bowels, the kidneys, the adrenals. We're starting to move that lymph. We're hydrating. We're getting these interstitial spaces in your liver, in your pancreas, in your bowels, in your heart, in your liver. We're getting them flowing. Getting the inflammation, getting that stagnation out of there. Because unless you remove acid stagnation, the blowback is assured. The blowback is assured. And you shouldn't be mad about it. You created it. So getting smart. See, because you don't have anybody to tell you that. They just blow it off, blow it off, blow it off. You don't want to blow things off like that. Because the next thing you do, you've got a tumor, you got something in there very serious because no one sat down and told you the truth because they didn't know the truth. So you guys know the truth. Same with this iridology and stuff like that. These are old people that live on the old cycle thinking. We're progressive. We're on it. We have an active clinic. I've had an active clinic most of my life, off and on. And I can just tell you that we look at these things. And we do get eyes to change constantly. If we don't get eyes to change, we're on your door wondering why. Because everybody can change their eyes. Absolutely. And yes, that orange is sulfur. Let me tell you. It smells it, it's bloaty, it's gassy, it's sulfur when it comes out. So he can say whatever he wants, disagree with him. And we can agree to disagree, can't we, guys? I feel bloaty after eating. Now, you want to look and see if you have any orange around your pupil, too, because as you detox, this stuff comes out. You can smell it. You can feel it. You get gassy bloaty, and it turns your orange stool orange. And I'm going to tell you that I would run at the kid, and about a month down that kid, I would swing over and grab a pancreatic for me and do 2-3 times a day is what I'd be doing. And really get into that pancreas and spawn some better digestion going on there. And I would go stay with the fruits, berries, and melons, get away with the rest of the stuff, get yourself up there. Work yourself at the top of the mountain. I mean, get yourself up there. Really go after the body and make it stand for something. Don't sit there and whistle Dixie, get up there and hunk on it, baby, and you'll have it done. Next thing you'll turn around, you cleaned your body out, and you're a new person. Your world is new, fresh, and you're ready to take it on with a whole new view, a whole new attitude, and a lot of intelligence. However, I have been experiencing, okay, let me see. So I have been eliminating the nuts. Do you think? I would be, honey. You can't do nuts. I mean, if you do a little here and there, do the pignolia nut, the pine nuts. But the thing is, you can't just have, it's like a potato, you can't have just one pine nut. You can't just have a handful of pine nuts. No, you got to have another one, and then you want raisins with them because they're real good with raisins. So then you got a handful of pine nuts and raisins, and then you see what I'm saying? Pretty soon you've had a lot of fat and protein in your life, and it was just tasting so good. It's easy to do, guys. You see it there, but you've got to come off the proteins for a while, and that includes nuts. If you want to get well, come off the proteins. Many of you have already written me with the proof of that, and of course I've proved that in my clinic for years. You don't do protein when you're sick. No way. So she's eliminating the nuts, corn, and cooked vegetables. Well, you can have some cooked vegetables. You're okay with that. But again, there's nothing there for you. And if you don't have to have them, stay fruits, berries, and melons and fix this problem, and then go back down a little bit. I am only eating raw fruits and vegetables, but I would get away with the vegetables. Too taxing on your digestion system. No way. Get away from the vegetables, sweetheart. If you're having digestive problems, make digestion as simple as you can get. And that's fruits, berries, and melons, even simpler. Then you're not overtaxing your body. You're cooling your body down. You're hydrating your body. You're giving your good stuff for the kidneys. And now everybody's starting to turn on. You're starting to move things around. You're starting to get things going. And now you can feel the difference. And that's what you got to do. You get these stagnations, and I don't know what to tell you other than that. I also have green stools most of the time. Liver gallbladder formula. Liver gallbladder formula, liver gallbladder formula, liver gallbladder formula. Liver gallbladder formula. And I would flush my liver and gallbladder. I do a liver gallbladder flush here. Have you got a blood test recently? Because it doesn't sound like you're producing adequate amounts of bile. That could be problematic. So, that's something you want to look at, honey. So, liver gallbladder, liver gallbladder, liver gallbladder. Do the pancreas anytime. Onto the side here. Is this because of my liver? Gallbladder. You want to flush your gallbladder and liver for sure, and work on them with the liver gallbladder formula. Yep, absolutely. But at the same time, you're working on your GI tract. You're working on your kidneys and adrenals. Don't forget cause. Don't forget cause. Can these mean that my liver got damaged? It could mean it's just genetically weak. It could have got damaged. Who knows? The only way you're going to really damage your liver would be high proteins or chemistry. Yeah, foreign chemistry for sure. What can I do to improve my condition? Fruits, berries, and melons. Get yourself on a detox, because it's not just the liver gallbladder you want to go after, honey. You want to go after the rest of your lymphatic system. Your kidneys, your adrenals, the lymph system, your gut tissue. Remember the liver, gallbladder, pancreas, branches off the tree, go after the tree. Yep, then you'll be good. I read about bentonite clay for digestive. No. I mean, explain to me how bentonite clay helps you digest better. It's an absorptive clay. It doesn't improve digestion. The clay. Matter of fact, what you have to be worried about with this is impaction, so be careful with the clays. You want to make healthy that which is weak and breaking down. Then if it's the pancreas, then you got your own, it'll increase digestive enzymes. It's the pancreatic duct, it'll all fix itself. When you're trying to, take supplements like bentonite clay for improved digestion, no. You might as well take the GI broom. If you're going to go and clean up the bowels, do the GI broom. Don't just do bentonite clay. On the other hand, if you want to get into the pancreas and improve digestive enzymes, but you're looking at green poop, gallbladder. Well, look at that gallbladder. Clean it out. Clean out the liver. Do a liver gallbladder flush. Will Dr. Morse recommend this? Nope. How safe is it to take it having the liver problem? Nope. Sometimes I feel pain below my right ribs. Yep. Gallbladder. I'm just telling you, that's your gallbladder. And that's what you don't want. So I get the phosphate liquid here. Start your journey on it toward a liver gallbladder flush. Get yourself on the liver gallbladder formula. Do the first 2 weeks and then a month, if you can go a month. And make sure you deworm yourself, because you can have worms and flukes. You could have liver flukes in there and stuff like that. So you want to deworm yourself. Okay, so you do your first kit. If you want to do a liver gallbladder flush after that, okay. But I would probably do a couple more weeks, because your next kit has liver gallbladder in it to continue, because this is an area you've got to go after. Everyone's got to go after the liver gallbladder a little bit. That's the major chemical factory of the human body. And of course, your gallbladder is how you deal with lipids. So got to treat that real nice. But what I'm seeing here is a gallbladder problem. I feel my legs tired and heavy most of the time. I used to have hypoglycemia. Well, that's your adrenal glands. And so you have kidneys. Now your lymph is backed up in your lower extremities. You probably have lower back, which could be tweaking the nerve going down the legs, and they feel heavy. But this condition disappears with the diet. Oh, it disappears with the diet. Shouldn't you be on the diet, honey? Yeah. I was always skinny, but now I am very, very skinny. Rose, listen, honey. That tells me you're malabsorbed, sweetie. And you've got to fix all of this, because what's coming with that liver gallbladder does not sound too good, does it, guys? So you want to take care of this one. Get this one taken care of at the same time. Get your bowels cleaned up. You're skinny, so you're going to be that way for a little while. So everybody, I'm going to be a little skinny for a little while. Car's in the shop. You're going to fix this, and then go out to New York and be a model for me. So, get all that interstitial lymph moving and cleaned up. You'll start absorbing better. Your liver gallbladder will be in good shape. You'll absorb lipids properly. You'll be able to have something to neutralize acids. All these other things. So really, really important stuff here. That was very important. Because when you start having pains like on top of seeing no bile, that's not good. Any medical doctor would be going, come with me. We need to do a gallbladder extraction. Or you could have a bunch of gallbladder flukes. Let's do one more. We got a lot to go over. But tomorrow, hopefully, is a better day. It's just crazy around here. Apple flour, huh? Okay, these are homework that you guys want me to do. Okay. This is Alicia. Hi, I am wanting to order some herbs, but I am all the way in New Zealand and am unsure how to do this or what herbs to order. I suffer extreme anxiety. And she capitalized extreme. On a daily basis. This has been ongoing daily and started after my first panic attack when I was 7 months pregnant. Wow. That was 5 years ago and has only got worse. I also have recently been diagnosed with RA, rheumatoid arthritis. Apparently, they keep saying I have this, then a month later they say I don't. Oh. Medical. Come on, guys. All right. It doesn't matter about the diagnosis. Remember, that's the game of illusion. But what they are trying to get to tell you is what I'm seeing in this. RA is just like anything else. systemic acidosis. And I haven't seen too many RA cases that did not have sulfur involved. Because now you're picking up heavy fungal involvement, and then you have uric acid crystals additionally on top of that. So it's a big deal. And yes, there is sulfur in RA, big time problems. And a lot of antibiotic use in RA cases, especially in the earlier years, or they get them from their mom. So here's the thing. Systemic acidosis, whether you call it RA, osteo, it doesn't matter what kind of arthritis, or whether you call it fibromyalgia, lupus, or Lyme's. All of these events are systemic acidosis. Head to toe. It doesn't matter what factors in the body are changing in your blood work, rheumatoid factor, doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because it is systemic acidosis. And if you address it like that, you'll win. If you address it like it's some phantom disease that they made up, you lose. So if you want to win and be pain-free and all this, you want to understand that RA is systemic acidosis. Do me a picture. Now, there are some A's without the sulfurs, but I don't have a lot of them. So look at your eyes, see if you have orange right around the pupil. But extreme anxiety means that obviously your adrenals are way down, which means you have to have really low blood pressure. Now, you could have flipping the other way after pregnancy and all that, but you know, this is extreme adrenal fatigue. So here's the gig. You could also have neurotoxicity with this. You know, pesticides, herbicides, things like this on fruits and vegetables, and just a lot of neurotoxins in the air, colognes, perfumes. There's a lot of neurotoxins in female lotions and stuff like this. And that's problematic. So you really need to detox these out. There's only one way to get rid of neurotoxicity, if you have any, on top of, because when it's extreme like that, to me there's exacerbating. We know the adrenals are down. To have anxiety, that's your adrenals always. Low neurotransmitters, which yields you low blood pressure. And in time, low blood sugar. Even though one is neurotransmitters and one is cortisol steroid, still from the same gland, just different parts. One in the inner medulla, one from the outer cortex. Doesn't matter, same gland down, it's a little bitty gland, so your steroids and neurotransmitters can be involved, or just neurotransmitters, or just steroids. We could shake up the booty, who cares? Uniqueness, and that's why everybody, there's so many possibilities in life and in nature. That's what keeps people hopping. That keeps the grand illusion going. Because when you wake up, game's over. Only the conscious people know how to play the game well. So, extreme anxiety. I would do the adrenal 400 glandulars muscle test first. And if your body can tolerate those, go on those. If not, try adrenal with licorice hitchhiked on it, because you're going to have to get into that adrenal. And by the way, go into the kidney, go full bore detox, because you're systemically involved, RA, and you don't want RA. I have a lot of body weightlifters and body guys, and bad. I had a guy who was up in, not Mr. Olympia, but up in that 27-inch, I think 27-inch arms. Made a lot of 40s, you know. Came to me, joints out to here, joints out to here. Of course, lost his kidneys, pumping the proteins and stuff like that. When you want to know about proteins, just talk to one of these guys and let them tell you about their life and what it did to them. Not fun anymore. Not in the slightest. So I don't know which side of RA you're on. Probably on the lighter side of it. So don't let that word stick anywhere. Get your lymph system hydrated and moving and filtering out your kidneys and skin, and then then they won't be able to stamp anything on you. It shows me that your factors are moving around. Just detox, full body detox, then they'll stamp clean and green. But you want to address these adrenals big time. So you have two ways. You got glandulars, and you've got adrenals with licorice. If they're that bad and you have real low 80/90 over blood pressures, I might do both. So you have to look at that. But you want to do the kidneys with it. You want to go after the lymph system, because what's the gig? What makes the adrenals go down? Genetics, yep, true, but what makes genetic weaknesses? The type of food you eat, the type of chemistry you eat, either makes your kidneys healthy or damages them. And guess where man's been on which side of that coin? Protein damages kidneys. And finally, in the future, when that really gets in, you guys already know it. You guys are already down the road. You guys are involved in things that it'll be a while for our society catches up. That's for sure. I love you guys, and thank you so much for listening to these videos hour after hour. I don't know how you do it, but I love you for it. And anything that can help us all get better and have fun and good life and learn how to see more of the universes, not just looking here in this physical world. Pull back a little bit. But to pull back means you have to stop thinking and stop desiring. Spend some time hanging, chilling, just being. And you'll appreciate it. There is rest, and you're allowed to have that. You're allowed to do anything you want. This gets me when these governments have so much power. You guys think your countries are bad. This country, Obama has wiggled regulations in so bad, this country is unreal. Even going down to the building department is a pain in the butt because they think they can control whatever you want to do to your property, literally. And some I can understand in a certain setting, but so it's stressful everywhere you go because it's all about power and control over others, isn't it? So we have to show them that it's not. We have to show them that health, vitality, and consciousness and love for one another and oneness is what's up. And allowing us to all have fun and enjoy our stuff. We're just here temporarily, and then we hand the keys to the successor. Here, I'm leaving. Here, you're going to have them. Thank you so much. And I hope that all of you get well. And for those that are struggling hard, you have our love behind you. And hang in there. And for those that know they're not going to make it, and they're pretty advanced even when they get this, just realize you're just moving your attention away from your physical body and putting it in your astral body, your next body. And it's well there, well documented. Those of us that have been God travelers for years have known that. And look at John Monroe, he wrote books on the astral world. So never have a fear of leaving one body into another because you aren't going anywhere. You might be exchanging one body for another, one view for another view. But isn't that what we do on vacation? Don't we exchange one view for another view? Isn't it fun to go on vacation? We get new views. But notice how we keep pulling back to the security of our house. Well, where's your security? Which house? See, you need to be your own security. You don't need a dwelling to be secure. You be secure in the self. This is your dwelling, not the physical body, your awareness. You. These are powerful things if you get them, and there's a lot in the spirituality side. Fun stuff. Another fun stuff. So love you guys again. You have fun, and I'm trying to be here tomorrow and keep on getting these done so I can catch up with you guys. If I ever catch up with you guys, I'm going to go have a margarita or something. Probably kill me. But